Hello guys, at the end of this video you will able to see this project where you can see that this is the point A, this is the direction, and this is the point B. Total distance in 3.5 miles and total write time which is 21 minutes. Here you can see that in the JSON file duration is 21 minutes, which I plotted on the UI, and distance which is to 3.5 miles, which you can also convert in kilometers. And that's it. This is my final project. Now I am creating a project on Google Console and enabling direction API and distance API. Let's have a look. Go to google.com and in this search write Google Console, and here you can see that I'm inside the Google Console and it will load, and after that I just go to my projects, and here I created a new project. Here you can type, let's suppose, Omar Farooq TV, and then selection and organization is an optional and created. I just created a project on Google Console. Let's go to the project settings by clicking select project, and let's see where we go. And now here we are in the settings of the project, and go to libraries and just type in here Google distance API. Write distance only, and you can see that distance matrix API is opened. Let's click and just click it, and now here you can see that distance API is used to calculate distance between the two coordinates. Here are some description of this API you can see in the documentation. This is basically to calculate the distance between the two coordinates, two lat longs. It will return you the results of calculating distance. I just enable this API in the project, and now I am going to enable another API, which is, you can say that, direction API. I just credential in the API where, okay, I'm showing you the credentials to create an API key. I just created, and now here you can see that API key is here, where you can copy in this. This is the key basically to use in the project. I just copy it to use in the project, and let's go to dashboard again to enable the second API and the credentials. Alright, in the libraries tab, all the libraries are listed, you can see here. Now I am enabling the direction API, which is our second API to use in this project. Okay, I just tell you one thing, that these two APIs have some sort of limit inside it. Now here you can see that the direction API is used to plot a direction between 2 points. If you want to draw a route on the Google Maps, then you will use this direction API. These are the documentation you can read here. Well, I was saying that these two APIs have their own limits. If you exceed their quota limit, then Google will ask you about the charges, and they will charge you, and they will say that you have to add a credit card to use more API requests. Now I am creating a project on Xcode. Here is the project I freshly created, and now you can need to open terminal, and in the terminal I just go to Finder to get the path of my project, and just copy right CD and just drag the path of my project. Now on this path I will create a pod file. Just type pod in it. Now in the background you can see pod file is created, and in this pod file I will just write the library pods which I need to add in the project. Those are the libraries which I will use in my project. I just type pod install, and now here you can see that Google Maps are installing and in my project. So in the Finder and Google Places, I use two pods, Google Maps and Google Places. I will show you in the project. Now I will open the workspace project file. Here you can see this. These are the two new libraries I added in the project, and now I'll show you by opening the project once again. This is my workspace file. Now here you can see that pod separate project. In this, here you can see that Google Maps and Google Places I added in my project. These are frameworks that will be automatically added in my project. Now I will do some sort of UI work. Just add the view, and here is the view. Basically I am creating a view which I will draw a Google map on that view. It is on the full screen. Here you can go to the classes and set constraints of this view from 0 spacing from the top, 10 from the left, 10 from the right, and from the bottom you can add 100, because I will add some labels down below to show distance and the time for the ride. Just color the view, and I just added a more space below, and I will need to add I just go to view class and just add the JSON map view. To this view will load maps inside me, and just import Google Maps and import NSLocations, which is the native API of iOS. And now I will add, well, I just copy pasted to save the time. This is my method to get the total distance between 2 points, and here are the values which I will hard code to draw this. Basically, you can see here in the console, to get the let long, I'm just getting some let longs for the place of, let's suppose I type North Karachi, find the let long, these North Karachi, Pakistan, find the let long. Now here you can see that these are the two let long values. I just copy this let and just paste here in the source let origin point, and the longitude value will be copy, and I just pasted this here. This is my origin point. Just delete this error code, and now I'm finding destination point. Destination point will be this, and I just copy the latitude value and just copy paste it here in the destination latitude value, and longitude value I just copy it and I just pasted the longitude. Now I have 2 points, origin and destination. I'm using Google distance matrix to calculate the distance between these 2 points. Now I will show you one more thing. I just copy the, now I copied the API key, and now here I can paste my API key. This is the key which I generated initially in the project on Google Console, where I enabled distance matrix and direction matrices of Google. These are the two services we use in this project. Now I just copy the same key in the URL. This is my method to calculate the total distance between these two hard-coded points. Now this is an error where is shared manager. Well, I will just add the two labels on the UI. Just label it. This is the label I dragged here on the UI, and I just name it my total distance label, and just placed on the UI. Add the constraint, top constraint and left constraint. These are the two constraints I added on the label. Now I need to add one more label, similar kind of label, and just type label just drag this label, second label, where I just name it total time. My first label will show you the total distance, and the second label will show you the total time between these 2 points. Neat. These are the two labels. Now I just creating an IB outlet. Just drag this and name it total distance, and just type it LBL time in this regard. Now I will, here is my URL. You can see this, the distance matrices I used, and here is this JSON serialization I used. The row, I get the row, and in the row I will get the distance tags and the time tags. Just self dot the label which I created on the UI, distance dot text. When I get the results, now I will add the results to this label. Similarly, I just print it in the console. This is my total distance method, and I adding another method to draw Google API route. This is my route method. I just copy pasted it to save the time. Again, these are the 2 points of origin and destination. I just indent the code to look like clean code, and now here I will again add the hard-coded points of origin that long and destination that long. I just copy it from the below, and this, we just copy this complete stub of origin and destination, and I just copy this is the Google direction API. Remember, I am using direction API in this function, and in the below function I am using the Google distance API to calculate distance. These are the two separate APIs. Here you can see the same API key. I just copy it and I just paste it here. This is the key. I used this key to plot the direction. Now these are the two methods. I just copy pasted the same two methods from the code, and now here is I pasted in the UI. Just go to assistant editor, and I just created an IB outlet of the map which I created previously. This is my map view, IB outlet, and the total distance label, and now you can see my UI is completed, and what I need to add on my UI is the theme color. I just copy the green color which I previously copied. Now in this viewDidLoad method, I just first call my direction API method, which is below, you can see, and after plotting a direction on the Google map, I will calculate the distance inside it. Here you can see that the total distance inside my, and where I'm using the distance matrix, and this is another Google API to calculate distance. Now these are the same 2 points I'm using it, and I am thinking something. I'm thinking in other direction. What I am missing here? Well, this is completed, and let's remove the breakpoint, and now I just run my project to see what will happen. Just run on the simulator and let's see what will happen. Now it will run on the simulator, and in the simulator, boom, it's an error. Let's see what is an error. Well, oh, I just forgot to add the GSM services in the app delegate method. Let me copy this GSM. When I use this Google Maps API, I need to configure the GSM services in the app delegate. So I just forgot these two services. Well, this is not required here. Now here I just copy pasted to save the time, and just import Google Places. Well, places are not required here too, so let's remove it, and just we just need Google Map services. That's it. Now run app. Let's see. Again, boom, error. I'm using this SDK and terminating app due to exception. Well, there is an exception that route is not plotting. Let me check. Draw a route, and the API key is correct. And what is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? Just pause, and once again. And what is wrong? Here is the routes, and in routes, alright, this is the null array. That is why the app is crashing. Now here I can see the billing information. You must enable billing on the Google Cloud project. Alright, I just need to enable the billing on my project. Enable the billing. Google saying that you have to enable the billing option on my project to use those services. Well, let's enable the two sources. This is my API key. This is the API key which I enabled the billing option, and let's see. and I just use this. No, just removing. This is the safe way of using the key. I just using in this way to save the time, replacing again and again. This is my constant file which I created in the app delegate. Let's run the project and see what will happen. Now let's see the routes are coming or not. Now routes are coming and just boom. Now here is another exception. This is saying that modified to the layout engine must be performed from the background. Oh, alright. Basically I am changing the UI on the main thread. Let's do this label on the main thread. I just assign the value to my distance label in not in this block. This is my main thread. This is dispatch queue dot main dot async. This is the main thread, and in this thread I will setting the values to this label, and let's see what will happen. Run the project again and let's see. Breakpoint above, and now here is my breakpoint, and now let's see, these are my distance which is 3.5 miles, and below is the duration which is 21 minutes. This is and I am extracting this information from the Google, and I'll just add another constant with the time right, and I just extract time in the similar way where I extracted the distance. Just copy it and paste it, and duration is the key here, and in the time constant I'll create another constant, final time. Just copy the above, go to save the time. Here is the time. Save dot time dot text equals to my final time. Just paste the final time. Now I just setting these two labels in my main thread to avoid the exception which are occurring below. Now let's run the project again and let's see what will happen. And just run the project, and now boom, now my work is done. I just created a route on these 2 points, and this is the 3.5. Well, I just forgot one thing, that this is the total time, total distance equals to the variable value mile, and just added similar way to the time, total time, just to look clean on the UI and just copy the final time, and let's run again to see in the more clear way. Now you can see that this is the total distance 3.5 miles and total ride time 21 minutes. That's it guys for this tutorial. I just used to Google APIs to do the